Now we're going to look at how to get the value of, say, different angles like sine of 210, cos of 120 degrees. Okay? We already know from our special angles what sine, cos, tan of 60, 30, and 45 are. Okay? Those are all in the first quadrant here. Okay? Now we want to be able to figure out, okay, well, what's the sine, cos, or tan of different angles, like I said, 210 or 150, etc., all the way through the 4 different quadrants, okay, 0 through 360 degrees. Okay. Now, I would have gone through the theory of this in class. This is just going to be, okay, now that I know the theory, here's how I can quickly get the values. Okay, so for example, let's look at something like the cos of 210 degrees. Okay. So, what I do for something like this is I look at 210. I have a nice little quadrant here, all 4 quadrants, okay, and I draw my 210 angle. So it's 180, down here would be 210 degrees. Okay, now to get the cos of 210, what I'm looking at is really, okay, I make a reference to the 180 degree line here. Okay? So 210 degrees is 30 away from 180. Okay? So again, I'm referencing it to the 180 degree line. Okay? So 210 degrees is 30 away from 180. So really what I'm looking at is the same value as the cos of 30 degrees. So the cos of 30 degrees is square root 3 over 2. Okay, not quite done yet. Okay, most of the work is done. Now what I have to think about is these can be positive or negative. And to help us out again, the theory would have been presented in class, but again, this is just a quick way to be able to get these values. Is C stands for cos, A stands for all, S stands for sine, T stands for tan. Okay? You'll remember it as cast, C-A-S-T. So this quadrant has tan in it. That means that only tan angles are positive in this quadrant. So my angle is a cos, not a tan, so that means it has to be negative. So it's negative square root 3 over 2. And that's it. We're done. And now we know the value of 210. Let's look at another one. Like, say, for example, let's go with the sine of 300 degrees. Okay, so I mark my 300 degrees in. Okay, so this would be 300 degrees. And again, I'm going to reference it to the 0 degree line here. Okay, so how far is 300 degrees away from the 0? Well, it's 60 away. Okay, so really what I'm looking at is the sine of 60 degrees. So the sine of 60 degrees is square root 3 over 2. Okay, then, just see whether it's positive or negative. I look here. In this quadrant, only cos is positive in this quadrant. So I don't have cos, I have a sine, so that means again, I'm negative. Let's look at a couple more examples quickly here. And let's look at the sine of 135 degrees. Okay, so I draw in 135 degrees. Okay. Once again, I reference it to the 180 degree line here. Okay. So 135 degrees is 45 away from 180. So I'm really looking at the sine of 45 degrees, which is square root 2 over 2. Okay, and then I look to see whether it's going to be positive or negative. Well, in this quadrant, signs are positive, okay? So this is positive, so there's my final answer. That's all there is to it. Okay. One more. Okay, let's go with 330. We'll do, let's do it over here. Let's do the tan of 330 degrees. Okay, so again, it would go all the way around like this, 330 degrees. So what we're really referencing is, okay, how far is 330 degrees away from 0? Well, it's 30 degrees away from 0. Okay, the alternative is you can be thinking about this as 360 degrees. Okay. We have another 30 degrees to get up to this line, so we're really looking at the tan of 30 degrees. Okay. So 30 degrees, the tan is 1 over square root 3. Then we look to see whether it's positive or negative. Well, only coses are positive in this quadrant, okay, so this has to be negative. Okay, and that's all there is to that.